A very good morning, everybody. We are going to work with catch multiple exceptions. That means more than one exception should be caught during a single program. Now, in our previous tutorial, I have covered how to handle exceptions using try-catch blocks. In this guide, we are going to see how to handle multiple exceptions, that means more than one exception, and how to write them in a correct order so that the user gets a meaningful message for each type of exception. Just like more than one exceptions can be there, and every exception shall have a private and independent message according to the error. Now let us take an example to understand how to handle multiple exceptions. For example, we have a class example, public static void main. In this we have an array, int arr is the name of the array, and then we have the fourth value of the array divided equals to 30 by 0, which shows an exception. Now if there is no exception, then we are going to display last statement of try block. Now in this we are going to catch and throw the arithmetic exception, which shows arithmetic exception E. Now in this we have you should not divide a number by 0. Now the second point is that in this catch array index out of bounds exception E. Now in this, if such type of array, if such type of exception is being caught, then it is going to display accessing array elements outside the limit. Now we have the last part. The last part specifies the default exception. That means if any kind of exception which we have specified is not following the rule or do not follow any type of exception mentioned, then it is going to display some other exception. Now in this we have the final part. In this we have system.out.println, that means out of try catch block. That means no exception or no error was found, or no such block was found which was inside the range of exception. Now let us have a look to the elaboration of catch block. A catch block is where you handle the exceptions. Now this block must follow the try block. A single try block can have several catch blocks associated with it. You can catch different exceptions in different catch blocks. When an exception occurs in try block, the corresponding catch block that handles the particular exception executes. Now for example, if an arithmetic exception occurs in the try block, then the statement enclosed in catch block for arithmetic exception executes. Now in the above case, you should not divide a number by 0 and out of try catch block. In the above example, the first catch block got executed because the code we have written in try block throws the arithmetic exception because we divided the number by 0. Now let us change the code a little bit and see the change in the output. Now see, this one remains the same. Now in this we have arithmetic exception, then we have out of bound exception, catch exception. This is known as the default of, or the last part is out of the try catch block. Now you can see that in this we have defined only there are 7. That means total of 8 values can be inserted in the array. But at a point in this we are dividing the 10th position 10 by 5. It is going to specify the array index out of bound exception because there is only 7 values. That means the size of an array is declared as 7, and we are going to use the 10th position in an array. So that specifies an exception, and that exception comes under array index out of bound exception. Now accessing array elements outside of the limit, then out of the try catch block. The statement is the default statement, the last statement out of try catch block. Now in this case, the second catch block got executed because the code throws array index out of bound exception. We are trying to access the 11th element of array in the above program, but the size of array is only 7. Now what did we observe in the above two examples? Now let us have a look and a brief description and elaboration about what was the main basic difference. In the first part we saw that there are two exceptions, and the first exception was that array was inside the bound. That means you can see in the first part we have divided the size of an array is 7 and we are using the fourth position, but we are dividing the number by 0. So this part is an exception. In the next program we are not dividing the number by 0, but we are using out of bound. That means the size of an array is not in the part or limit of the size of the array. So such type that comes inside array index out of bound exception. Now it is clear that when an exception occurs, the specific catch block that declares that exception executes. This is why in the first example the first block executed, and in the second example the second catch. Although we have not shown you above, but if an exception occurs in the above code which is not arithmetic and not array index out of bound, then the last generic exception handler would execute. Now you can see that, which I have already explained, that this is the default exception. That means if none of the arithmetic or index out of bound exception occurs, so it is going to follow the default rule. That means if we have not specified any type of exception during our programs, it is going to read out the default exception. Now let us change the set of codes again and see the output. Now in this we have a class example. Now in this you can see that we have an array, and in this we have the 7th position, and we are trying to access the 10th position. In this is the first part. Now the default statement exception, which is the first part, that means just after the tie, this was an error. So it is just going to look for the first catch. It was exception E. It is going to read this line. Compile time error. Exception in thread main. Java.lang.error. Unresolved compilation problems. Unreachable catch block for arithmetic exception. It is already handled by catch block for exception unreachable catch block for array index out of bound exception. It is already handled by the catch block for the exception at example.main. Now in this is because we place the generic exception catch block at the first place, which means that none of the catch block placed after the block is reachable. You should always place this block at the end of all other specific exception catch blocks. Now you can see that just after this, the system is going to read this, and there was an error. It is going to read this line, and it is these set of codes seems to be unreachable. That means there will be never a situation in the program that these two set of codes will be executed. So we get an compilation error, compile time error. I hope everybody, what is the main difference between the compile time error and runtime error? Compile time error shows the syntax error, such type of error which we have discussed now. These sort of errors comes under compile time error. And runtime error specifies the error. That means we are executing the set of codes and we are not getting the exact output, or we are getting the error in such a way that is being caught after the execution or the proper compilation of the program. Now this is how, I hope the things are very much clear, how we handle the multiple catch exceptions. Now in this, further we are also going to handle nested of try catch methods and finally block.